Hi students, I want to show you the simulation and the free software available for you to help you with this experiment 9 molecular shapes. And what you can do is just do a Google search and type under Phet, and you'll see that the Phet Colorado EDU website pops up. Click that, and right here these simulations are very helpful for us to do things in chemistry. So I'll click on chemistry, I'll scroll down, and the one that's really useful for this lab is the molecular shapes. When you click on the molecular shapes, you can go ahead and download this, and the reason why I picked this one is you don't need Java or a flash drive or anything. And one of the things I want to show you is how you can build your models. So when you first start, you have a couple options. So they always show the central atom, and you can see that you can have your electron geometry shown and your molecular geometry. So I'm going to start from scratch and have nothing. I'm going to click electron geometry and molecular geometry. And when I first work with this, I'll notice that if I have two electron groups, okay, so if I have a central atom bound to two atoms, I'm always going to have an electron geometry and a linear geometry, or electron geometry and a molecular geometry that is linear. It doesn't matter if these atoms are two single, or if one's a single and one's a double, or if they're both doubles. As long as there's two atoms, I keep this linear geometry. Now I can click on show the bond angles, and it also shows me it's 180. Again, it doesn't matter if I have two singles or if I have a single and a double, it's still 180. Or if I have a single and a triple, or if I have two doubles. As long as there's two atoms, I have 180. And you can even see in the simulation, I try to make it less than 180. And because we're following valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, it always wants to spread out the two electron groups. Now, if I have three atoms attached, we see that I have the trigonal planar arrangement. And that leaves me with a 120-degree angle. And again, same concept. It doesn't matter if the three atoms are bound singly or if one of them has a double bond. It's still going to always give me that 120 trigonal planar electron geometry and trigonal planar molecular geometry. And we're not going to add more than a double. Like we couldn't have three doubles for this particular lab just because we're not expanding the octet here, although that is a possibility in other courses. Now, the other thing that we can think about is what if we have four electron groups or four atoms bound? And when we have four atoms bound, we see in the simulation that unlike 2D drawings where it looks like the maximum bond angle is 90 degrees, here we have 109.5 degrees. Which is it's a bigger angle than 90. So I really like how this shows that. We also see that the electron geometry is tetrahedral and the molecular geometry is also tetrahedral. What I want to show you is what happens when we start having one of the electron groups being a lone pair versus being an atom, okay? So I'm going to remove one. Right now I have three electron groups. They're all atoms. And we see that as a result, my electron geometry and molecular geometry is the same, trigonal planar. As soon as one of the electron groups becomes a lone pair, I still get three electron groups, okay? So I get, this is actually not right. It's going to be less than 120. I'll show you that in a second. But I still get three electron groups, so my electron geometry is trigonal planar. But with my molecular geometry, I don't really look at the lone pairs. So what happens is for molecular geometry, even though it still has a trigonal planar electron geometry because that lone pair is present and it's following valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, and I get roughly that 120, my molecule looks bent because I'm not looking at the lone pair, I'm just looking at the atoms. So that's something that I wanted to show you is as soon as you incorporate lone pairs, now the molecular geometry changes. And I can remove that lone pair, add another atom, and now I'm back to 120, and I see because the 3 electron groups are atoms, it goes back to trigonal planar. Now if I have 4 electron groups, again, it's tetrahedral. In this case, it's tetrahedral for both electron geometry and molecular geometry. But if I remove one of the atoms and I make one of the groups a lone pair, as in this case, I see that the electron geometry is still tetrahedral because I have 4 electron groups, 3 atoms, and 1 lone pair, but my molecular geometry is different. My molecular geometry is trigonal pyramidal. Why? It only looks at the atoms and describing the molecular geometry shape. So it's tetrahedral because it's taking into account lone pairs as an electron group, and there's 4 electron groups. But the molecular geometry only looks at atoms, so that's trigonal pyramidal, not tetrahedral. It's the same thing. If I remove one of these and I add another lone pair, I still have 4 electron groups, 2 lone pairs, and 2 atoms. So my electron geometry is tetrahedral, but if I don't look at lone pairs, I see that my molecular geometry is bent as well. And this is an example of what we see in water. Now, one of the things that I wanted to emphasize is right here in this model, it's saying this bond angle is 109.5. That's not exactly true because in the models, it's not taking in account that lone pairs actually repel more and cause a squeezing of this angle. And these are just models. Where you will see that is if you go to your real models and we look at H2O, and we see for H2O, I have, just like I did with that other model, I have 2 atoms and 2 lone pairs. So my electron geometry is tetrahedral because there's 4 electron groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 lone pairs, 2 atoms. But my molecular geometry is bent. Again, the molecular geometry is different than the electron geometry when the central atom has lone pairs, as in this case. What also I want you to see is you can remove the lone pairs, and again, the molecular geometry looks bent. So the key is the molecular geometry is different than the electron geometry when there's lone pairs. Okay. Now, the electron geometry shows me that there's 4 electron groups, and it helps show the bond angle. So this is roughly 109.5. This is less than 109.5. That's what we see, and it's roughly 105. I don't want you to remember that. I just want you to write less than 109.5. And if we don't show the lone pairs, we see that this definitely looks bent. And you can do this for other examples. You can do it for the SO2. So remember, this is trigonal planar for electron geometry. Why? There's 3 groups, the lone pair and the 2 atoms. But the molecular geometry is not trigonal planar. It's different. It's bent because it has a lone pair on this central atom. If we remove the lone pair, we see that it definitely looks bent. And like I said earlier, because lone pairs have a greater repulsion, they squeeze this bond right here, and it's actually less than 120. So I hope this video helps you in understanding how to use this Phet simulation to build your models. It's very good when there's only one central atom. If there's multiple central atoms, there's another video showing you how to use those. So again, I hope this was helpful.